about to get ready to have a shave. I thought to myself, it's been a while since I've done a video regarding mapping your hair growth. And the last time I did that video, I had a goatee. Now that I'm clean shaved, I'll go ahead and do a full face mapping using a cotton ball. So I'm going to start with my cheeks. When I take the cotton ball and I go downwards, notice how it isn't catching. And by the way, I was going with the grain. Now watch what happens when I go up. Big difference, eh? And that's me going against the grain. So next, I'll do my jawline. When I go from my chin to my earlobe on my jawline, let's see what happens. That's going with the grain. Now, let me go from my earlobe down towards my chin on my jawline. That's me going against the grain. And now that I do not have any facial hair on my chin, this should be interesting because I've never done this before. So I'm going to go downwards on my chin. That would be going with the grain. Now, let me go from my chin up towards my lip. That would be going against the grain. All right, now let me try my mustache area. I already have an idea of how that growth works, but for demonstration purposes, and I want to show you, let's give it a shot. So I'm going to go downwards on my mustache area. Just as I thought, that was going with the grain. Now, let me go upwards. And that was going against the grain. Now, let's go from the center of my neck towards my ear. So that's going with the grain. Now let me go from the back of my neck towards my Adam's apple. That would be going against the grain. So now let me try the center of my neck and let's see how the growth works there. So above my Adam's apple, I'm going with the grain. Now let's go the opposite way. I would say that was going against the grain. Now let's try from my Adam's apple down to the bottom of my neck. I would almost say that's going against the grain. Let's try the opposite way. And now I would say that was going with the grain. So let me try the other half of my face. We'll see how my facial hair grows. With the grain. Against the grain. With the grain. Against the grain. With the grain. Against the grain. So now that I know the direction that my facial hair grows, I found this picture online. And what I'm going to do is mark how my facial hair grows. So we have our photo here. Now, if we remember, when it came to my cheeks, my facial hair grows downward. That is with the grain. My mustache area, my facial hair grows downward. That's going with the grain. And under my chin area, it also grows downward, and that's with the grain. And when it came to my chin, my facial hair also grows downward. So basically, my entire upper part of my face, my growth grows downward. And then on my jawline, from my chin to my ear, my facial hair goes sideways, and that is with the grain. My neck near my Adam's apple down towards the back of my neck, my facial hair grows like so. And then on this side, again, same idea. You want to go from my Adam's apple towards the back of my neck, and that is the direction that my facial hair grows. And then my Adam's apple, it kind of just goes everywhere. And below my Adam's apple, my growth goes upwards, and that is with the grain. Hey, back again. After a cool cotton ball trick, now it's time to get rid of this growth. So I'll be using Chicago Grooming for the first time. To lather up, I'll be using this beautiful Yaqi 26mm synthetic brush. And because I am doing a full face shave, for today's shave, I'll be using the Henson AL13 medium. And once all the growth is gone, and the face is feeling fantastic, I'll be using Chicago Grooming Classic Clean Aftershave Splash. All right, so let's get the face wet and get the shave started with Uccello Rosa Pre-Shave. All right, let's go ahead and load the brush. All right, so now that the brush is nicely loaded, let's go ahead and paint on some soap. So now that I have a light coating of soap on the face, let's load the Henson AL13 medium with a Rex blade. All right, now that the Henson is loaded, let's start building up on this lather. All right, here we go with the Henson AL13 medium for my first pass. All right, there you have it. First pass is done. My chin, mustache area, a little nerve-wracking right now, but I think if I keep doing this, eventually I'll get used to it. Let me get on with that second pass. Here we go with the Henson AL13 medium for my second pass. All right, and there you have it. Second pass in the books. This shave is feeling fantastic. All right, let me get on with that third and final pass. And I will say this, if you're wondering why I'm shaving again, for me personally, I get my best shaves with 3 passes. You don't have to do 3 passes. You could just do 1, get in, get out, get on with your day, or you can do 2, maybe with some touch-ups. You can do 3, or you can do more. It is your shave, and you can do whatever you like, my friend. So let me get on with that third and final pass. Just a thing of beauty. All right, and here we go. My third and final pass with the Henson AL13 medium. All right, third pass in the books. I need to share something with you. It doesn't matter how mild a razor can be. It doesn't matter how safe a safety razor can be. If you are not respecting the razor and you are not paying attention or you're being too aggressive, you can definitely nick yourself. Now, I really don't want to give any excuses, but because this is only the second time that I'm shaving this area in months, I'm thinking I was being way too aggressive and not respecting this mild razor at all. So, if you are new, once again, respect your razor, because if you don't, you could end up giving yourself an unwanted present. So, if you're going to get anything from this video, learn from my mistakes and learn what not to do. All right, let me go ahead, wash off the rest of this soap and continue on. Hold tight. All right, next, let me get in there with the Parker's alum block. So the alum is a great tool when it comes to helping to heal any irritation or nicks. And for me personally, it gives me a good indication on how well the shave went. And other than mustache and chin area, this is a great shave. So what I'm doing here is just holding the alum to my neck for a few moments. The alum will help heal it. Now I should note, after I use the alum, I always rinse it off and then give it a good dry down. Okay, so now that I've applied alum to the face and I'm letting it work its magic, I'm gonna go ahead and clean my gear and my area and get everything ready for my next shave. Now, one thing that I always do as part of my post-shave ritual, I take the blade out of any razor that I use after every single shave. So now what I'll do is pat the razor dry and then I'll put it back in its packaging. Now, because I've only used this blade once before, I will use it again. So what I'll do now is put it off to the side until I'm ready to use it again. I was taking a look at my Henson and it's looking a little grimy. So let me go ahead and give it a nice scrub down. All right, so the Henson AL13 medium is all cleaned up and ready for its next use. And my Yaqi synthetic brush is all cleaned up and ready for its next use. So I've gone ahead and I've cleaned up the rest of my area. Now everything is ready for my next shave. For me personally, cleanup is a part of my post-shave. I always love coming into a clean den with some clean gear, having a clean shave. And I do need to make note, while I was cleaning, I could feel the alum tingling and working its magic, maybe healing that nick, tightening my skin. And as a matter of fact, while I'm speaking to you right now, I still feel the alum tingling and working its magic. I also should make note that the alum is not for everyone. So if you happen to use the alum and you keep getting irritation from it, stop using it because clearly it's not agreeing with you and maybe you're allergic to it. So now what I'm gonna do is wash off the alum with cold water. And yes, I do recommend washing off the alum with cold water and get ready, put on some Thayers. First, I'll go ahead and apply the clear Thayers, followed by the hydrating milky toner. Now, before I add the Thayers hydrating milky toner, let me first splash on Chicago Grooming Company's Classic Clean Aftershave Splash. What a feeling. This is fantastic. So I am going to go ahead and apply some more splash, but this time I'm going to combine it with the Thayers hydrating milky toner. So the whole purpose of adding the splash first is to get that full effect of the scent and either skin food or alcohol directly onto the skin. And then adding that Thayers hydrating milky toner, it just escalates the splash, in my opinion. Make sure to pick up some Chicago Grooming and the Henson. Links in the description. And there you have it. End of the shave. The full face shave has been kind of nice. I don't know how much longer I'm going to do it, but I figure I'll do it for a little bit just to really get used to shaving the chin and mustache area. And on that note, you make it a great shave and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.